Hey nerds, welcome back to Read by Redhead. If you're new here, Martha, Redhead, and this is the start of a new series on my booktube channel. This is when I'd like to be really cool and tell you the name of the series, but honestly I haven't picked one yet. So I think this is going to be like bookseller story times or story times from book events. It's working. I'll come up with it probably when I make the thumbnail. But in essence, I have been a bookseller for over 3 years, and in that time I have been super lucky, worked as part of the events team at my Waterstones, and I've met a lot of authors, I've interviewed quite a few, and I have some stories that I think would be really good fun to share. And disclaimer, this series isn't about bragging about the authors I've met, not in the slightest. This series is mostly for me. It's so that I have these stories recorded and kept as mementos, and also because I find story times quite fun to sit and listen to. So get a cuppa, sit down, and this is the first part of bookseller story times. So the first author that I want to discuss working with, this story isn't actually so much about her, but about the instances surrounding her book release and me and my shop in particular. And that is Kate Weston, who wrote Diary of a Confused Feminist. Now, before I get into this story, I just want to say I adore Kate Weston. She is absolutely lovely. If you don't follow her on Twitter, please do, because if nothing else, her cat content is delightful. But this story is a little bit more complicated than just a happy release of a book. And I have debated whether to tell this story or not, but actually everything that happened was open to the public. It was all public domain. If anybody around the time has similar screenshots to me, then this isn't me exposing anything. This was all public knowledge, and that wasn't our choice. So back in January 2020, yes, things happened in 2020 before all of this. So yeah, back in January 2020, my colleague Sam and myself were super excited because we were at work and the promotional pack for Diary of a Confused Feminist arrived. And this pack was excellent. We each got t-shirts. I would love to wear mine right now, but it got damaged in a wash and I need to tie-dye it before I can wear it again. But yeah, so we got these really cool t-shirts, and they did little promotional cards that had little quotes from the book on. And the most exciting part was they did bunting, but the bunting was moon cups. And Sam and I were in pieces. We were so chuffed with this box. We thought it was genius marketing, and it just made us more excited about this release than we already were. So in our excitement, I put my t-shirt on top of what I was wearing. Sam decided his top needed to be a tank top, so literally on the floor behind the till at work started cutting it to pieces. And me being me decided to wear the bunting because it was moon cup bunting. I needed to be wearing it. So as the two of us not only were super excited about this, I'm really thankful to the publisher, Hachette, for sending us this pack. We also both work on the social media for our shop. And we were like, oh my god, we have to tweet about this. It's brilliant. So we tweeted about it. And we didn't really expect much of a response. This was pretty standard tweeting for us at the time. It was excitement about new releases. We both work in the basement, so like YA and kids stuff was quite common. And yeah, we just posted it and we're really chuffed with it. Then almost a whole week later, 6 days to be precise, we suddenly received a bunch of notifications from this random account. Now I will block it out of the screenshots. As far as I can see, this account has actually been taken off Twitter. But just because I don't want to be causing trouble, I will block out the screenshots. So the first notification that we spotted was one calling Waterstones Newcastle commie wankers. And I just burst out laughing. I was like, what is happening? I told my family, who immediately changed my name in the family group chat to commie wanker. And it was like that for almost a year. So yeah, we got that tweet and then a tirade of comments in response to certain tweets we'd put up. Now, here are the selection of comments. There was one about Greta Thunberg and us supporting the environment and climate crisis issues. And then came to the slightly more personal one, which was in response to our tweet about Diary of a Confused Feminist. This person had chosen to write underneath, "You people are utterly, utterly disgusting. I suspect that's the point." Now, you know, we run a shop social media. We are used to people like attacking it and not realizing that there are humans behind it. But Sam and I were each pictured in this tweet and tagged in this tweet. So not only did we get this notification through the shop, we also got it on our personal accounts. And at that point, it stopped being funny and was kind of like, what the fuck? Who does this? And we sat on it. We debated whether to even address it. We each were so desperate to reply to this wanker. Like, I was so angry at this point, and I was like, so clearly you're a knob because you don't like us talking about the climate crisis or feminism, and you find us discussing feminism disgusting. You're just a dick. So we debated it all night. We were all like, what do we do? Do we address it? Do we not? And one of mine and Sam's best friends, Adele, had been working at the shop a lot longer than us, had been doing the social media longer than us, and was like, tread carefully. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to, have the social media taken away from you because you both love it so much. Be careful. So the next morning, we both woke up and said, no, we can't let this slide. This isn't even just about us. It's about reminding people that there are humans the other side of these Twitter accounts. And also that things like feminism are not disgusting. Like us discussing moon cups, tough shit. If you find that uncomfortable, don't read it. Go learn about it. Educate yourself. Don't belittle us. So we spent a few hours the next day drafting a tweet. Adele really helped us and made sure that we weren't too angry or political in our tweet. And this is what we posted. And it became the biggest tweet we have ever posted on the Waterstones Newcastle account. And it was fantastic. The responses to this tweet that we got made me want to cry because people were just so lovely and understanding and were very angry on our behalf. And we did reach a point where we got a bit worried and were like, are we going to get in trouble from work for doing this? Although it is morally right to stand up to these people, is this going to be kind of against company guidelines? And then the mothership, as we like to call them, Waterstones Piccadilly, retweeted it in support and we're like, we're all utterly disgusting. And I was like, this is amazing. Now, of course, this guy attacked us on multiple fronts, but the one that really hit home and the one that we quoted in our tweet was about Diary of a Confused Feminist. With those tweets, Kate Weston, the author, had actually seen them. She responded really lovely, being like, I love you guys anyway, like, we're part of a group, basically, of utterly disgusting people. And we ended up actually arranging for Kate to visit the shop and do a stock signing. And honestly, getting to meet her and discuss this mental Twitter thing that had happened was just fantastic. And as I say, she is super lovely. Her publicist, Emily, we'd worked with quite a lot of times by this point and had a lot in the pipeline. So she was just kind of laughing with us and knew us both really well. And I was actually not working the day that Kate came in to sign the stock, but I care more about meeting authors than being paid. So I went in and just to put the cherry on the top, Sam and I were both wearing our Confused Feminist t-shirts. The moon cup bunting was up, and you know what? We were utterly disgusting in that moment, and it was amazing. Hello, editing Martha here, because I have a memory like a sieve, and I have been very kindly reminded of two very important details about the actual day when Kate Weston came and signed our stock. The first being that, so I mentioned that Sam cut his feminist t-shirt into a tank top. Now, Waterstone's guidelines on uniform mean that when he was at work, he had a shirt on top of it, as you'll see in the picture of him. So he had this tank top on, he had the shirt on, and Kate commented that we both had the t-shirts on, and like mine was under my dungaree dress, so I was just kind of like, yeah. Sam took his shirt off to kind of show off the feminist top, and flashed Kate Weston his nipple, and it was just hilarious. Me and Emily, the publicist, were both just in absolute stitches, and I cannot believe I forgot this detail because the minute Sam reminded me, I was just taken straight back to that moment and how hilarious it was. So yeah, poor Kate Weston has seen Sam's nipple. Oh, it's hilarious. But also, and I didn't want to mention this because I didn't think I had a picture to show you guys, but I searched and searched and searched through all my old images, and I found one that was from like a couple of months later, but shows what I want to talk about, which is just before Kate came to the shop, we installed a wall of fame in the basement, which was basically a chalkboard wall. We keep chalk pens behind the till, and when we get authors and like illustrators and stuff coming in, we ask them to sign the wall and also if they wanted to doodle it. And we said to Kate, like, we'd love you to sign the wall. If you want to draw something, go ahead, but no pressure. And she just went, can I draw a moon cup? And we were like, yes, please do. Please draw a moon cup on our wall. So she did, and it's like quite small. It's probably about this big in real life, with her signature underneath. And I am so glad that I found pictures of this because it's just brilliant. And when people look at the wall, a lot of them are probably like, "What on earth's that?" And if anybody goes, we're like, "Oh, it's a moon cup." Yeah, we love it. We love it so much. And like the juxtaposition of the different doodles we have on there now is fantastic. But Kate's moon cup is probably up there with my favourite signature on that wall. So yeah, back to actual filming me, and I'm gonna get this edited. So yeah, kind of a weird story for the start of this series, because this story time wasn't so much about the author or the actual event, but more about the events that led up to it. But yeah, it is probably going to be something I will never forget from publishing, and every time I look at my proof of this, which Kate did sign, and she very kindly called me amazing, which, like, she's amazing, so that was cute. But yeah, every time I look at this or I wear my t-shirt, which even though it's wrecked, I still wear it to bed quite a lot, I just remember that moment and kind of laugh that this Twitter troll ended up making us stronger and made the community of people who followed us like rally behind us and got us a lot of followers. Like, we got a lot of followers that day, and it was quite satisfying for that to be the result of him trying to belittle us. So yeah, that is the end of this first story time. I don't know why I decided to do this one first. I kind of have a whole list of the ones I want to discuss. Tried to put them in chronological order, but that's really difficult because a lot of the authors I'm mentioning I've met multiple times, and it's about the multiple times. So yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to why this one came first. Honestly, I just find it quite funny and kind of wanted to spill the tea a little bit on why we were utterly disgusting. So yeah, please follow along with this series. If you like this video, give it a like, and as I say, subscribe, and there will be more of these coming soon. There are quite a few authors. I think I've got 7 of these videos planned, all with very different stories from different events that I've worked on, some that I've interviewed, and yeah, there's some more coming in this, and I think it'll be quite exciting. Also, I really want to open up about being a bookseller and make this part of my booktube channel, because it's a big part of why I created this channel and why I have as many books as I do and why I love them to the extent that I do. So if you have any questions about book selling or anything you'd like me to discuss or talk about in a video, please let me know down in the comments, because I'm kind of planning a few, but I'd rather know from you guys what you want to watch. So yeah, if you've made it to the end of this, thanks, and I will see you soon for some more bookish content.